Let's start with persona non grata. William Hannity Corgan is what he's become.
It's funny because you mentioned vampires.
Oh, he's such a fucking vampire.
And the world is a vampire.
So I did the courtesy of writing down time codes. These are the time codes I want to hit because it's such a long interview that I want to be efficient. And I also watched the whole thing. I don't want to relive this horror. But here's what's happening. Billy Corgan brings in Dean and Robert DeLeo, the two brothers of the Stone Temple Pilots, right?
Okay.
Now, they're the main songwriters. It's their band, which is why they've been able to, like, as soon as Scott Weiland quit the band or whatever, they did an EP with Chester Bennington.
Wow.
And then Chester dies. Doesn't matter, though. They're on their own trajectory. And now their current lead singer is this guy, Jeff Goot, who we've covered on the show. Or,
Oh, yeah. He sounds...
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Weird.
So Billy likes to play this game where he's like, I'm not doing clickbait. I'm not digging for dirt, as he is doing clickbait and is digging for dirt. That to me is a way you can spot a narcissist when they're saying the opposite of what they're doing to your face.
Because a big part, what's one of their techniques, right, is to just confuse the fuck out of you and gaslight you all the time.
Yeah.
So your reality is shifted.
Yeah, he's very manipulative, and I'm here to say I don't like it.
I'm not interested in the dirt stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it's not.
Give it to you, baby.
There I am somewhere in Chicago. You guys come on. I watch that video. I think, who the fuck is this? Right? God bless STP. But he dangled you over my head.
God bless STP. Why is Billy Corgan like your Republican fucking grandpa all of a sudden?
That's the point I've been making on the every time I've brought up the Billy Corgan stuff. Most of the time it's been solo, but that's always the conclusion I've come to with him is like, this is what happens. Take narcissism aside. This is what happens when you go conservative. You lose your sense of aesthetic, and then also you're surrounding yourself with yes men. No one is saying, actually, Billy, that's gauche.
Yeah.
That's kind of hideous.
The last of the Mohicans. Record labels giving
All right,
us
let's
some
start
bread for
with...
video, and
Yeah.
I loved every aspect of...
This is the intro.
Yeah, at the time I
Why
kind of
is
resented
okay?
it,
Also,
but
the
now
fucking music.
Well, yeah.
It doesn't match it, and it's too fast, and it's like playing while they're talking.
It's everything about it is horrible.
It's like having Matt cut your steak at dinner.
Now no
All
one
right, let's just get right into it.
listened to you guys play many times, and
I think it was we toured with you.
so
That was
you
a great
guys
tour.
you guys make it hard to follow a band.
Oh,
Let's
that
put it
was
this way.
a great tour,
It's like I'm
really.
sitting backstage warming up, you know, and it's like hit, 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 hit.
Yeah, but you.
I'm going to unpack what's disingenuous about this. Stone Temple Pilots get 1 hour. Do I even have to say it? Obviously, they're going to play their biggest songs. They only have an hour. They're not going to play the deep cuts. Obviously, they're going to play their biggest songs.
Also, to say that all of them are hits, or it's also a little disingenuous.
They are all hit because it's like STP have enough time to play 12 songs. And 10 of them are big hits. That sold millions of records, right? They are big hits. They're big, huge rock hits, right?
Okay.
But the other aspect of why this is disingenuous is because if they had a 3-hour set, then they would be exposed.
Yeah.
You feel me, right?
Yeah.
They only have hits on like 4, kind of 5 albums. The rest of it is no hits, right? Instead of a band who has a discography that, you know, like they just don't have enough stuff, right?
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to play. I'm just saying, like,
you
you have to
too.
be naive as Billy Corgan and not. He knows that. You see what I'm saying? He's playing into their.
He's just sucking their fucking, jawing their fucking wang.
Anyway.
I appreciate
too.
that. I appreciate that.
Song after song.
But you guys don't have that artistic problem that I have, where you need to.
You guys don't have that artistic problem? He's implying that Smashing Pumpkins is high art. And you guys with your your low art, right?
No, I don't think that's not what I'm getting from that.
That's not what you're getting?
No, what
are you
I'm getting from that is him trying to be like, I just really struggle, and you guys just got it all figured out. I don't think it's a high art versus low art thing. It's another dick suck.
I think it's both. 'Cause
to foist on the audience some sort of weird Bertolt Brecht drama play in the middle of the show, right? You guys are all about good time. Here's another good time. Oh, here's a heart chain. Here's a pull on your heart chains.
The term is first off, Billy is heartstrings.
Heartstrings. No, but do you see what he's doing? He's minimizing. He's saying our music is deep and artsy
Weird, and people don't really
weird,
get it.
that it's brainy, and like you guys are just a couple beers and a good time.
Yeah,
It's a little
it's
bit
both.
of, you see, it's a little bit of what do you call it when you're quietly dissing someone? What's that called again?
He's throwing shade.
Yeah, but a backhanded compliment.
Yeah,
that's what that
it's
is.
very backhanded.
Yeah.
Here's another hit.
Yeah.
My show Jimmy Chamberlain always called it the art breakdown.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, why do we need to do the art breakdown?
That's funny.
Doesn't acknowledge the fact that it's because he wants to do the art breakdown, right?
Yeah.
He's like dissing the art breakdown while being the guy that does the art breakdown.
It's his weird humble brag. It's him being
Yeah,
that's why he's
yeah.
being like, you guys are just like, you guys like
You guys
have
are
it
simpletons.
so, you guys just like have it so easy. Like I'm a big, annoying, artsy, intellectual,
Yeah,
brainy,
just heavy,
intelligent.
heavyweight. My brain is so
like,
heavy.
I'm actually exhausted because I'm so talented.
You guys want to lick my brain? It's huge. I got a
It's
huge, thick, bulbous brain.
It must be so nice being so small
Peasant-y
and easy and
yeah, with your peasant rock, your easy to
It's just
digest
so
peasant
easy.
rock. Okay, check this out.
You would know. It's like the third or fourth.
That's different from what you're used to. You're going to kind of, like you
Yeah,
said,
but
adapt to that.
But
and-
isn't it interesting when you take a great singer like Chester or Scott, and I'm sure you saw it with Scott, where it's like there's these other voices in the voice that you
Yes.
didn't know was there.
Well, he's just a good impressionist.
Exactly. Yeah.
I love Scott Weiland, but you got to call a spade a spade. That's the other thing Billy's insinuating subtly is like, he's a really good impressionist. Like he has this elitist mentality, like he can't help himself. Anyways, this will become more evident as we dig into this.
Yeah.
For me, it was always like being a singer was like I didn't want to be a singer. I got kind of forced into it.
oh yeah.
Are you fucking kidding? The audacity, the caucasity of this man.
You know, like I didn't even want to be a model, but like so like I just have really big naturals, and so people just kept on saying, please model, and you know, like so I didn't want to do it, but then I did. Shut up, be so fucking for real, like
Yeah, listen to the
'Cause
reason.
nobody would sing my songs.
what?
He doesn't consider that maybe you made it impossible for that to even be a possibility because you're a fucking you're an insufferable.
It worked pretty well for you.
Junior, as I like to refer to myself in the third person, sometimes was like,
That's a big sign of a narcissist.
So he calls himself Junior because his dad is William Corgan Sr., right? So he calls himself Junior in his head. Interesting. I just want to. It's
I
interesting.
ain't driving, so I just took a bunch of
Narcissists
mushrooms
love to
because I
speak
knew they
about
wouldn't ask me to
themselves in
drive
third
if I was high.
That's the sense of
So
grandiosity.
I'm tripping
Yeah.
myself.
Okay.
The Mohicans.
This is the part I was looking for.
Because San Diego sometimes gets the
Here we go.
L.A. and then there's San Diego. Did you feel there was its own thing, or did you basically feel it was wrapped into the
I
L.A.
didn't pay
version?
much mind to it. I thought the overall music scene was really, really nice, man. There was just some really,
Bro, you would say that shit if you were
really
from
nice
San
music
Diego.
being made,
No,
you know?
San Diego is
Yeah,
not
really,
LA.
Yeah, cool records were being made, and it was look, we're the last of the Mohicans to kind of catch, you know, record labels giving us some bread for a video, and
Yeah.
I loved every aspect of the creativity, you know.
Yeah, at the time I kind of resented it, but now I realize it was actually a blessing because it was the last time. No, but it's the last time there was any kind of order.
Right.
That was the part I wanted to bring up. Order. That to me is a conservative trait, wanting that in your older life. It's kind of why his music sucks, because his brain has become too conservative in his thinking.
I just want everything to fit in the nice little boxes. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm really letting loose.
This is when you could release a record, a promotion cycle, there's commercials on TV with your CDs being advertised, music videos, sort of how do you say that word?
Proselytizing?
Is it pros?
Proselytizing.
Proselytizing about just the glory days of the 90s. There's just like a lot of money in the music industry to throw around at rock.
Yeah, they would
Right?
throw money at you to make a bullshit music video for your single because the way that people ingested media was different.
Right. So they miss the order of in other words, the current time, it's too disordered. It's way too, they can't wrap their minds
Well,
around
it's
how
less
to even-
about the order. It's the fact that they are not at the top of the
Bingo.
pecking order. It's less about
Bingo.
once again, which is the same thing with when it comes to conservative MAGA types.
That's so it.
They are very willing. People keep bringing up things recently like, see, look how it's gonna hurt them too. And I was like, a big part of this, it's not about the order for everybody, right? It's about being on top. And if that means sacrificing yourself so somebody else like is suffering more, that could also be part of your vibe and this mentality, right? Where it's order, but it's not about order. It's not about equity. It's not about sharing.
I
It's
like
about
when you
domination.
said order, your eyes squished together, like evil, right?
Yeah. The evil order.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
New world order.
Yeah, it's less about everything being organized. It's more about domination and not being on top.
I want to be a new world hoarder.
New world hoarder. What would that look like?
Okay, let's get into now we're getting into the meat and bones of this, all right?
Meat and
I watched that video. Scott's got the short hair.
Yeah.
I think, who the is this? Right?
They aired the video, so it came on. Manager calls us. We're playing Florida.
It's going to be on at midnight.
Going to be on at midnight.
Was it 120 minutes?
Yes.
I don't know.
First, like, I wasn't helping.
He's just got
That you guys were sort of like jumping on some bandwagon.
uncle vibes.
Wait, did you hear what he just said? He's like, I wasn't helping, that you were jumping onto some sort of bandwagon. So he's admitting that was his stance at one point, even though it is kind of deep down inside, still his stance, right? So this is where,
Knowing you now, you weren't.
Right.
knowing you now I know better, you weren't. Even though he's like about to say, well, you kind of ripped me off, and you kind of ripped Alice in Chains off, and you kind of ripped Pearl Jam off, but you weren't, jumping on a bandwagon and trying to, jump on a trend and profit off of it. That's not what you were doing. And it's like,
He's being a weird purist about it. When it's like, bro, you also sold out. So
anyway.
But at the time, that was the vibe.
Yeah.
Did you feel that?
No, I was jumping on with.
Did you feel that you were sellouts? Were you
at the time, did you
Are
realize
you
that you were
guys-
sucking dick and being a poser?
Yeah. Are you guys sellouts?
Whenever I could, man.
They're like, bro, we were just excited to get signed.
Show me the bandwagon.
You sound good.
Show me the man.
No, I get that, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. You know,
yeah,
if I was
I
a
think-
fucking
I think
moron
we were
like you with
just-
only peasant skills and I couldn't make real art, I'd try to suck the life out of my music too and jump on the bandwagon.
I don't think he thinks they have peasant skills as much as peasant aesthetics and songs and right?
Really?
Yeah.
I think that he thinks that everything about them is like
Beneath
a
him?
lesser. He thinks that he's varsity MVP, most valuable player on the football team.
Yeah.
And those twerps are like JV. They're on the bench. They're bench warmers.
Mind you.
So yeah, we're on
Which
the
is
same
why-
team, but they're like,
right.
I guess it's different than
But
an
I've never
actual peasant in
gotten
his
past
mind.
listening to music past 1980.
Okay, so
So I
Oh,
think
wow, you
trying to
just
make-
admitted that you never matured.
well, yeah, but he's also trying to make a claim that it's impossible for us to have ripped off the voice because everything I was inspired by and everything I listened to was the Doors, which was in this late 60s, early 70s. And it's like,
it was all those
or just
influences
both,
that we all
right?
grew up on.
Yeah.
You did
and
exist
I
during
think-
that time.
or you just ripped off every single rock and roll archetype and put it in a blender, which may I say something?
yeah, say what.
There's nothing wrong with that. Just say it. Just say it.
It's like trying to say that you didn't have work done when you've clearly had work
Yes,
done.
exactly.
Bitch, stop trying to tell everybody you didn't have a facelift and you didn't get your tits done. Your tits are up to fucking here and your face is like that.
And
We
your
know.
lips are fishy. You got fish lips. You got fish lips.
We know what happened here. The narcissism
think,
and the gaslighting.
It was a writer's, a critic's
Critics.
way to get their piece and their claim and their stake of, I'm going to call this grunge and I'm going to call this, and I think that's really what happened in that era. And I didn't really look at it like that because I was in the 50s clothing back then, and wingtips and my hair slicked back, and
That has nothing to do with the sound.
I was just doing my thing,
Logical
was
fallacy.
kinda
Yeah,
doing
just
my
because
thing.
I always
Totally
wonder how it feels on the
fucking
inside.
red herring right
because,
there.
You know, bands have their own kind of social.
I was just like a rockabilly guy, so I wasn't even trying to do
Told somebody-
grunge.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember
right.
Tom Carolan.
Plus, two things can be true at once. The journalist made up a genre called grunge based on the voice, and
You fit in it.
you fit it. You just did the thing that was gonna work, and it worked. You sold 8 million copies of your first album. It fucking
And
worked.
our guy he said, fasten your seatbelts.
Also,
And that was good advice. I always
if you're
always took
all about
that.
the wingtips in the
But I
50s
was-
style,
I mean,
why isn't Stone Temple Pilots a rockabilly band though? I'm just saying, if you're saying that's your excuse for
Just the
not being
right. It was just the 90s. That's how people dress. It was a way one
way-
could dress.
Yeah, it's just a vibe. It's a style.
Exactly.
You put on a
greatest
style,
ones.
bro.
And that was usually like it was common for the bassist to look that way, to look rockabilly with the bowling shirt.
I was gonna say, you
Right?
know who's the biggest
Is getting to
that
me.
came a little bit later? Lit.
That's what I'm
Every
saying. Yeah,
member of Lit, that was
right.
their whole vibe.
That's right. That's right.
Great time
Goldfinger
making
did the
these
same
records.
kind of look
Do
too.
you know the Brendan O'Brien
Bowling
Smashing
Alley
Pumpkins story?
Boys.
I
Oh, this
feel
is
like I told
interesting.
you.
Yes, you did.
You're right. Bowling
I
Alley
guess I
Boys.
didn't tell you.
Yes.
I might know it though.
I think Brendan told that story actually.
Here's my version. So our A&R guy was Mark Williams from Georgia, which is I think where Brendan's from, right?
Yes.
Okay. So he was really pushing Brendan to do our post Siamese Dream record, which became Melancholy. I've already got it in my head. Between all the drugs I'm doing and whatever else is going on, I'm going to make it.
You?
Oh yeah,
Billy.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
We're gonna make this
fucking lame when you're
sprawling
sober.
double.
Exactly.
So true. I'm sick
So
of being lumped
true.
in with the
Also, the
grunge
way you
bands.
talk about how you were doing drugs.
You would be included, by the way.
Yes, yes,
Sorry, man.
yes,
Waltz away from you.
Okay.
yes.
Gracefully.
Bastards.
Call you all.
Yeah.
You can't follow me. So he insists that Brendan O'Brien come visit us somewhere on, I think, Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
So here
It's
comes
like
Brendan
all these
on the,
dudes are
on,
rock and rollers.
on the
Now they're
tour
just
bus,
fucking
the classic.
grandpas, man.
Playing him a cassette of some demos. I don't
Amazing.
remember.
That's just the vibe.
And Brendan says, "What are you thinking?" I give out my whole spiel, this sprawling record and this thing, and it's day and tonight and the whole thing. And he goes, "Well, I just did the Stone Temple Pilots record, and we did the whole thing in a week."
Okay.
This is just like they're just cracking up over this boring ass grandpa story.
Wait, no, but the point of it is that Brendan O'Brien produced Purple, I think.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get Billy to like, can't you just be easy to work with, like Stone Temple Pilots? Can't you just like the kind of records you like, punk records, are you actually do pump out in a week because it's just live, right?
Yeah, it's easy.
That's not Billy's bag. Billy takes months, if not years to make stuff.
He's like typewriter boy. He's insufferable.
He's insufferable, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with either approach. Is totally fine. Like,
Sure.
you could go either way. It doesn't that matters?
Everybody
the
goes
least.
at their own pace.
Everyone goes at their own pace.
However, Billy Corgan's kind of being a prick about it.
Yeah, it's like
It's
this
once
is
again, it's that backhanded. Like
The
you guys are
backhand-
just so easy. You guys just did
your
it in
rock
one
is just so,
day.
it's just so punk and simple, and mine I'm just so sophisticated and highfalutin, right?
It's just like
That's
so
the
much that has to be
the way
done.
This band works. This band works with me.
It's like the
Junior,
person that complains
in
about
front of
being
council
busy,
with someone like
but they're
you.
like busy with like cool shit that like obviously
it's the
anybody
worst.
would love to do. Oh, I just got to go hang out with Beyonce, and I just fly out the next day, and I have to do this other cool thing. And
I'm gonna tell this story. I don't know this guy's name, but he's the drummer for Ty Segall and White Fence for like a few years. And he was telling that he's like, whatever, I don't know what drugs he was. It doesn't matter if he was sober or not, because his story was like, and there I was. I had to choose between being the drummer for White Fence or Ty Segall. He was trying to make it like this is the worst, like woe is me, And it's like, it's just
Nobody hates it.
It's so insufferable.
it's like. It's just like it's really difficult for me to go outside because every time I do, like everybody wants to fuck me,
and this
and
cool
like,
garage rock band just wants to hire me.
everybody just like wants me to like play their cool venues, and bitches want me,
those takes,
and it's like
it-
really draining
that's
to
the
leave the
weird
house
thing.
and have
It's like,
bitches want
sit
me,
down and
and
watch a
people
movie,
want to
you
give me
really
money and
can't.
have me play shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's like, "Oh, boo hoo, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's
It's not
another
a humble brag.
That's another clear sign of narcissism. If
Yeah.
you do that at a party and you're to new people, no, don't do that.
And here's a way, if let's say that is the case, right? You're doing all these really awesome things and you're like excited about your goals, but it is a lot of hard work, right? There's a way to talk about it that isn't insufferable. You could be like, whoa, like I'm getting super buff because I've been having to practice like 3 times a day. And that's, I'm not, you can make it
This
still
guy
like a
wasn't
relatable thing.
He wasn't even in either band at that point in time. He was done with
He
both.
was just talking about how he's cool.
He was just talking so he could still feel
Important.
relevant and like, yeah.
Reliving his high school football glory days.
Yeah, and I hope that guy's drumming in another cool band. Like
Probably sure.
I wish him well, but just don't be that guy.
Don't be
anyway,
that guy.
here's the next moment.
I think I'm going to keep that.
Is it the dun, dun,
That was
dun?
great
Yeah.
guitar playing, man.
Plush.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Plush was that song.
Now,
So
do you know though that
Oh, no.
Scott ripped off a Pumpkin song in
No.
that song?
No. What are you doing, Billy? It's not even true, by the way.
Bro.
In which song now? In
Yeah,
Plush?
exactly. They're like, oh, wow, you're going to talk shit to our face during this interview?
I don't know the name.
This
of
is
the
Are you
song.
going to hit
awkward
me
now.
for bread when we get out of here?
No.
I owe you money, don't I?
There's and you'll know because you.
They're honestly, especially Robert, the brother on the right, he's being a really good sport about this.
I think he's handling
He's
it
very
really
grounded.
well.
Like, he's an adult. He's a
like-
man. He's a grown-ass man, right?
You know, he went home and talked shit about this later on with his wife.
With his wife?
He was
I
just
would
like-
say Dean more likely that he did that. But check this out.
You know the record in the Pumpkin song "Suffer." And I feel, and a ton, da, 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 da.
Oh, shit.
So I'm watching MTV somewhere in America, and that song comes on, and I hear that, and I'm like,
Ah, yeah.
Let's look into this. Do you want to hear the Stone Temple Pilots part in question first? This guy's so full of shit, dude. That's the next part. This part, or yeah, it's this part. By the way, I just want to point out the way Scott Weiland looks in this video. This is such a clear Alice in Chains rip. By the way, I fucking love this song. I think this is one of the greatest mainstream rock, like FM rock jammers, right?
I'm feeling.
Great fucking song. But
But
to claim that this was like, we just grew up with the Doors and
you just somehow downloaded it from source.
yeah, downloaded it from Source, and it was just a coincidence that Alice in Chains and Pearl Jam, which came out first.
Like, girl, you have the red hair.
This part right here. Just that. That's the melody. Da-na-na-na. I'm gonna be thorough though. It's not even in the same fucking time signature, bro. One's in 4/4, the other's in 6/8. Oh, now it's in 4/4. Maybe it's this part. I don't know. I just don't think it's true.
I don't know what he's talking about. It's a very big reach, and
It's
I'm
a
like,
fucking reach, dude. It's
really awkward. It's
really-
uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. You shouldn't even say that. Keep that thought to
Keep
yourself.
your thought to yourself. There's a difference between public and private conversation, and Billy should have kept that.
To himself.
Yeah, that's pillow talk with your partner.
That's embarrassing.
You can have that feeling, but you really have no receipts, and you have no like credible
Dude,
like.
the secondhand embarrassment I got from this when I watched it for the first time was palpable.
you got
And he's gonna double down on it.
Jimmy Chamberlain.
Here's
on
the
bill,
next.
and other drummers who can't play. I've seen him go up there like this with
Sure.
shaking for
Absolutely.
real. I'm not even making it up.
Absolutely.
I've seen him crush other guys' souls on the drums.
Okay, now, his Jimmy Chamberlain,
Oh.
which is probably true, but
does that
I don't
have
know.
to
He's
do-
kind of
What is he doing right now?
he's using
It's-
Jimmy as an object.
It's a really
My
uncomfortable-
drummer crushes other drummers' souls.
Yeah.
And when
Yeah,
we were
I've
an indie
just seen,
band
like-
playing CBGBs and stuff, we'd be some snotty indie band.
Yeah.
And we get up there with our Marshall half stacks, as you know. And
Yes.
we just stomp them
Yeah.
to the fucking ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah.
You took a lot of flack. I
Okay.
didn't help
Also,
that
can we
with
talk
my-
about
We're crushing.
why was it a competition, bro?
The local band opening for us. We crushed them. Oh, we're better than you.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
And it's like, yeah, you were, but then your ego got so big that you stopped making good music. That's the problem.
I was like, actually, you low key kind of you're mid now. You suck a little bit.
No, it's more than mid. They're bad. They're
You're
bad.
right. It's not mid. Mid
not
is
mid.
mid is
Here
what
and there, but
Tame Impala
How
is
did it
giving
feel
us
to you
now.
with the kind of the criticisms that you guys
That's
got?
a different
I'm not
rabbit
interested
hole.
in revisiting the negativity.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
Oh, but you just love
That is
talking about how you
such a
crushed.
lie!
He just loved talking about how he crushed
Yeah.
an indie band that played
Yeah.
that's opening good
times.
CBGBs.
Yeah.
Like,
You
bro,
took a lot of flack. I
Took a
didn't
lot of
help
flack.
that with my stupidity here.
I
and
didn't
there,
help
but
that.
How did it feel to you with the kind of the criticisms that you guys got? I'm not interested in revisiting the negativity.
Yeah.
yes, you are.
That's what you're doing live to them.
Also,
just wonder
you're
how
like you're
It's gaslighting.
It is.
It's gaslighting.
He keeps on doing all these other things too, where he's like, my stupidity, my artistic problem, and it's weird because you actually think very highly of your intellect. You think very highly of yourself.
It's bullshit.
So it's
He's
very-
bullshitting.
You're bullshitting.
Yeah.
Sort of processed.
It's like
Because everybody-
it's like somebody saying like, I'm so humble, like I'm just really like
Exactly,
down to
yeah.
earth, And
process
chill and
isn't
humble.
that different. I decided to go to war with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
Scott
is
seemed
everything a
particularly
fight?
sensitive to it. Is that accurate?
Very, very sensitive to it.
Yeah.
Very sensitive to it.
And
He's
sorry,
like, why is this
but-
bald guy
'cause
trying to beef with me?
When I got to know Scott later, I guess later in the '90s, and it seemed to really hurt him that he wasn't viewed as an artist. Does that translate you? Because you know better than I do. But that was my sense.
So
of it.
annoying.
I think so. He was
God.
really trying to create this thing,
Yeah.
his own thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Billy's like, well, his is like, well, kind of. He was ripping off all the Jarl of the time, mixed in with Jim Morrison. Sure, I guess so. But dude,
Bro,
there's so much happening meta, right? There's so much meta conversation happening that these guys aren't even aware is happening because they're boomers.
yeah, they're
quite
not
honest, I
even they're
mean,
not aware
most-
that they're being like kind of like socially cucked in a weird way and like being dogged out.
It's like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, it's like a weird humiliation ritual that they're not necessarily super aware. They can maybe
Right,
feel it, but they
right.
don't. But they can't word it, which is one of the wonderful ways that narcissists trap you, right? And like make you go crazy because you're
Yeah.
like, I feel like you're talking shit to me, but
But yeah.
technically all the words coming out of your mouth
Exactly.
aren't really.
The way Billy's packaging it is, it's trying to appear like it's nice, but
It's-
we're seeing obviously it's
We're seeing through, but it's very mean girl.
core, it was-
It is.
It's giving. Oh my god, I love that skirt. Where did you get it?
yeah.
And then later on, it's like, you know, you walk away and she's like, that skirt's fucking hideous. That's the vibe that
Jim
it's giving.
Morrison, it
But
was
you
that
can't,
kind of
you can never
Morrison
say that she's really being a
derivative
But isn't
bitch
it
to you
weird? It's
because
like,
all she said
at
was,
the time,
what a
that
cute
stuff seems
skirt. Where'd you get it? Right.
How you look back, it's like, well, of course he's just trying to figure it out.
oh yeah,
Who knows?
He's just
who
a
knows?
simple boy.
Yeah.
I'm
He's
too
not smart
sensitive
like
myself
me.
to do
Yeah,
that.
I remember talking to him one time it was like one of these LA.
It seems like he would. do
One of
that.
these cool
Yeah.
LA parties. That
So
I
we
go
had
to
that
all the
dynamic in
time.
our band where he's
Yeah.
like, "Why
I
you gotta be
hate-
so uptight about this 18 things?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm
yeah.
like, you don't understand. So I'm not trying to get that out of you because
Yeah, you are.
I
Lie.
wish I was more like you in that regard, where you can just be like, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
I
man.
think there were far more
I wish I could be
positive
like an
happening
idiot like
than
you and just let
negatives.
shit go.
It is.
You know, Vatican gift
Great
shop,
title.
and it was thanks
So
to the.
was that your third album? What's your take on that record?
Also, why are you asking? That is something you should know when you research the band you're interviewing. You should know their first album is Core, their second album is Purple, their third album is Tiny Music, their fourth album is Number 4, their fifth album is Shangri-La-Di-Da, and their sixth album is self-titled. You should fucking know that.
He's doing it to appear like it's a casual conversation, though, which is another thing about the narcissist. Is he's trying to, they're trying to give you the idea that it's like we're just chill and we're
hanging
nonchalant,
out.
we're just vibing. It's like, oh,
This isn't clickbait.
This
isn't clickbait.
Didn't you date that one supermodel? Like, girl, you know I dated that super. Like,
Yeah.
He's being very like, oh, I don't know. Remind me again. Was it that thing?
True.
Which is again very mean girl narcissist vibes.
Totally.
It's such an awkward vibe
very
to watch
awkward.
them
Very
interact.
I think what's even on it.
Very.
I mean, you know,
It was a
what's-
Big Bang Baby.
Yeah,
Big Bang
so
Baby.
that was. I was.
Well,
Yeah,
it doesn't sound like it.
yeah.
We really.
Whatever. I'm like, this is a great song. You know what I mean? I'm not hearing it through the bias.
Why is he always? Also, it's very disingenuous. It's like everything is like a fantastic song, a great album. You know, you really just had all these hits. It's like it's a little bit too ass licky, where it's like, sure they had hits and stuff like that, but it doesn't feel genuine. It feels disingenuous to be like that excellent track, the best. He's like hyping everything in a way that doesn't feel natural.
He's
and
hyping
normal.
it to balance the mean girl thing.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing it.
Yeah,
It's a tool.
yeah.
That's what
It's
it is.
like the
think it
compliment
was-
sandwich thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. That's right.
After doing that '93 tour with the Butthole Surfers,
That's
a
when
lot,
they
but
got
you know,
heroin-y.
a few of those records were almost not finished.
Go away.
Yeah.
And you know where Jimmy's addictions were prevalent in the first half of the 90s with the band to the point where he ended up leaving the band. then Darcy's addictions became part of the story for this. So it was like we sort of relived it with another person.
Yeah.
And
Tough.
And then when Jimmy came back, then we had the twin version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girls, stop speaking
So
on other
I'm-
people's business.
Uber
Seriously.
empathetic to what it feels like to stand there. And you
Why don't
got
you
the
talk about
record
your
guy
drug
over
usage?
here, you got the manager over here, you got somebody's stupid girlfriend over here.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You know, in our case, one of our band members once brought their drug dealer on tour.
Yeah.
The drug dealer was on the tour.
Yeah.
Why is he
Because, well,
saying
they-
that like a
So-
fucking grandpa? Yeah, dog. That makes. Yeah, when you do drugs, you bring a drug dealer on tour, so you
Especially
guys
if you're a
got some-
multi-millionaire, you can do whatever the fuck you want. If you want your fucking
If you want your
nitrous guy, you right?
You want your stupid girlfriend and your drug dealer there? If you're a fucking rock star, you've earned the right to bring your fucking stupid girlfriund and your drug dealer
I love how
along.
he throws the stupid girlfriend under the bus. Like
I
she
low-key
doesn't
want
deserve that.
Exactly. You know what? I bet she was fucking a lovely lady. I bet she probably just called him
Call
out.
him out.
Or
Dude.
he would try to like look cool, and she would be like,
so true.
dude, why is he acting like, like she probably
Yeah.
just called, she could read through his bullshit, and he didn't like having her around for that.
True.
Yeah, that's why she's a stupid girlfriend. That's such a
Logical.
It's
weird,
logical. It's
off-putting
easier
thing to
get the
say.
drugs.
Weird.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to go out and score. They're right here.
Right.
He's
to worry
He's
about?
But
also, why is
so
he
let-
explaining it like a grandpa? He's like, do you know sometimes if you go to a new city and you've never been there, if you walk along a waterfront, sometimes you can approach men and you can buy drugs from them. So like
So I want you to
Yes.
pay attention to Dean on the left, his body language. You can tell he's growing more and more impatient with answering these questions. So watch, we're going to go through this. You'll see him lose his patience. It's quite something.
There's
to,
other music to make,
Yeah.
to
And that's what I
witness.
love about what you guys are doing is the way you solve the problem is just keep playing, keep making music.
That's important.
I'm curious because, look, we all know how talented Scott was. And again, like these great singers, the adaptability. So he leaves, there's all that. Now he's got Velvet Revolver. That must have been hard. You tell me, but it must have been hard to watch your guy, and he was your guy, go out and do it with somebody else.
Scott Weiland is not their object. He's a human being. Do you see what I'm saying? Like he's thinking in terms of
he's like
objectifying your.
he's being a popular girl. He's like, I fucking made you. You're a part of my clique.
Yeah,
How did it feel?
exactly, yeah.
How did it feel to be one of the pinks, the pink perfects, and then your bad bitch goes and starts her own crew,
Yeah.
and like people actually said that like her outfit was cuter than yours. Like,
Yeah.
he's being such a sassy bitch, and they're like, what if we just wanted to do our own thing, man? And he's like, isn't that crazy?
He's insufferable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you were rooting against.
Oh, you're
him,
right.
but it's
I can
gotta be
see- I
hard
can
because you
already
think
see it in his
"Well, shoot
face."
Here, did you feel that way, or am I imagining that?
I think at that point,
Look
I was
at-
kind of
look at Dean on the
he
left.
was not in a good place.
So it was almost
Look at his
like,
body language. He's just
good.
like, fuck
like,
this guy,
I'll
right?
take a break.
He's like,
Take a break.
Yeah,
Take a break.
yeah.
I think
that
he's
point.
like,
I remember
Also-
driving down Melrose.
But he's trying to keep his mouth shut because Billy pays his paycheck.
yeah, this is like they're getting a paycheck out of this, and he's like wondering how to He's like, how
They
do I
tour- they tour-
salvage this?
Right, but they toured with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm saying like he paid for them to open for them.
exactly
Open for Billy, right?
So he's like, how do I answer this without being like, fuck
Correct.
you? How do I salvage this?
That's right.
And seem like
That's
like
right.
I'm having a good. It's like he's like on a date with his sugar daddy right
Yeah,
now, and
yeah.
he's like, I fucking hate you. I
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
hate you.
Yeah.
And he's just like laughing and going.
Scott.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's
I know
very
what a party
telling
is.
in the way that the other guy is like, he's telling the
Robert, yeah.
story,
Yeah,
but
Robert.
he keeps on saying like, take a break, like it's like a subliminal like, he's like telling the story, but he's also like,
Telling Billy to take a break with
he's
this
he's like
line of questioning.
I think it's like a form of catharsis, right, for himself. Like that's how he's able to maintain
yeah,
this like
to not get pissed off.
to not get pissed off and be calm because he's like saying what he wants to say, but he's like saying
Yeah.
it through story.
Yeah,
Which means he's very grounded and he's not being
he's
able
very grounded.
he's not able to be pushed
Correct.
by Billy's
And it worked
narcissist
out well
antics.
for him.
So
Here we go.
I know what this feels like, but I want to hear it from you.
It's where all
Okay, you're
eight-
sitting there now. You're having this meeting. Some years have gone by. Should we open this door? and do this all over again.
Yeah.
What was that hard for you, or was it you feel like, okay, let's give it another try? Was it positive, or was it like trepidatious, to use the fancy word?
It was probably, yeah. There was definitely some
Trepidatious, to use the
trepidation,
fancy
but
word. You could have just said
was a
trepidatious.
lot of history
and if they
there.
didn't
Yeah.
understand, you could have
A lot
elaborated.
of
Why would you
history.
say it like that?
I don't like it.
You're condescending
Stepped
and
into
weird.
it lightly.
Right.
That first day of rehearsal,
Was that the first day? I know what
that
you're
was the
talking
first day of
about.
rehearsal. That day was, for me, it was like, it brought up a lot of ghosts and a
Yeah.
lot
This is
of
what Billy
things.
wants.
I'm having anxiety because I know that feeling.
You know the feeling.
Yeah.
And I remember
I'm
just going,
my-
you know what?
I'm getting anxiety about your story.
Yeah, I so feel what you're talking about, even though the whole point of this was to get to that, to get to where they are right now in the
going
conversation.
home.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going home.
Yeah.
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 But you did put it back together. There
Did
was,
put it back together.
and it was stayed together for a while.
It was good for.
We did a record. We did a record.
Yeah,
That was the,
yeah.
yeah.
Was it also called just Stone Temple Pilots?
It was eponymous. Yes, it was.
self-titled.
Why is he doing this for every album? Why is he doing this for everything? He's acting
pointing-
like he doesn't know anything about them.
Yeah, well, he's pointing out that they have 2 albums that are just called Stone Temple Pilots. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's
It's just another backhanded, like,
it's another backhanded
yeah.
thing, and it's another thing where it's like, dude, you already know. Why are you saying it like this?
yeah, it's another.
I don't know where to go with this because I'm not interested in the dirt stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it's not.
I'll
that
give it to
interesting.
you, baby. Ask me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
he's saying what he really
Do you-
feels too.
That's what I'm saying, right? And Billy just said, yeah. So now they're being real. Well, Billy's being real. Dean is like trying to turn something that's annoying into like a joke, right?
Well, and he's just like, yeah, take whatever you want. Because he's also he wants it to be over, it seems like. He's like, yeah, anything you want. You want to know who I fucked when I was 14? And yeah, whatever.
Don't tell
I'll
me.
give you whatever
No,
you
because
want.
I think
Get me out of here.
we're all in the clickbait world, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't give a
look at Dean's body language. Look at him.
about the clickbait.
Yeah, he's
to me,
over
it's
it.
the fact that you guys are still playing, and where talking about these things is useful is to give people some context to why we endure, why we carry on, why we persist.
Well, it's kind of obvious. I mean, if you're Stone Temple Pilots, it's because
It's a paycheck.
money
It's your career.
is primarily, and then of course they love the songs, and then their egos wrapped up in it, and blah 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 blah.
Your
blah.
identity's wrapped up in it.
Yeah, it's all you've ever done.
Who is that guy besides the guy from Stone Temple Pilots? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I wouldn't know. I don't know. If I saw him on the street, I wouldn't know him. But if he told me that he was the dude from Stone Temple Pilots, I'd be
Right.
like, oh, well, I know who that is.
Right.
Right?
We love music.
Why would you give up
man.
that?
Look at him. Look at him. He just said, "We love music, man," and then he did that knee slapping thing that you do when you start to get irritated. I don't know, man. Exactly that thing. He's starting to look.
We
It's-
love
Obvious to me. That's
making
obvious.
music.
That's
And
obvious.
look,
Man, we
Love making.
dude. I don't know, man. We just love making music, right? That's where he's
know.
at.
look for me.
Look.
Only as good as those who are around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
These guys
He's
make
tired.
me look really good.
Yeah, he's tired.
You know,
He's
love,
hurt.
You know what Robert brings to the table.
He's
and
hurt.
Eric and Jeff. Yeah, when
And-
you guys go into 1979, the place goes nuts.
Oh man,
And to back you up on that, when you play, I still see you still want to see us play
crazy.
way late in this game.
Hey, do you want to try one of these bars?
So
this is
if
the
we're
bar
on
from
that
the
timeline.
hotel.
We might only be
Oh,
about
I'm fine. Thank you, though.
2/3 of the way through it.
I already know their
Which is hard.
macros.
That when I stand there and watch you guys play, I'm like, these guys got so much more music left in them. That's so me. That's the victory.
That's crazy because you
for
don't.
STP.
I know.
And you know, if you listen to lessons learned or stuff I've done outside,
All right, I'm good on this. We did the thing.
Wow.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Horrible.
That is narcissism. We just watched it for sure.